Robert brings flowers to the Savoy for his meeting with Diane. He talks to Ineka and tips her for the other thing they talked about. Diane arrives smiling, along with Alexis and Sunny. Diane joins Robert and explains she only ran into Sunny and Alexis outside. Robert is hoping to show Diane how much she means to him and asks her to dance when a song she loves comes on. Diane assumes it was his doing, turns him down as she doesn't want a dance partner tonight, but she would like an apology. Robert admits he has no idea what he did wrong. Diane reminds him he swore to take Sunny down and imitates his voice and words, and Robert is confused as he thought they liked sparing. Diane says that wasn't sparing, that crossed a line. Robert is still confused. None of that was about her. It was about taking someone down in court, and he's not sorry for what he said. Robert says this is his job, but Diane accuses him of having a vendetta against her client. Diane tells Robert she didn't like that he was gloating. He asks if she's upset that he might win or that Sunny could lose. They banter over Sunny's guilt or innocence, and Robert wants to know if Sunny is her client or her friend. Diane says he's one of her best friends and asks if that changes how he looks at her. He says he sees her as a sharp, passionate woman, and that won't change. He just doesn't understand how he can look past knowing Sunny has committed crimes. Diane asks how it's different than looking past Anna and Holly's alleged crimes. She knows there is more to Anna and Holly, just like there is more to Sunny. Diane asks if Robert can accept that she's friends with Sunny. He asks if she can accept it's his job to put people like him away. She says, and if I can't, Robert guesses they've reached an impasse. Diane would never expect Robert to apologize for being who he is, and he doesn't want her to apologize for caring about Sunny. Robert suggests they leave Sunny and other clients in the courtroom. She accepts his terms and agrees that they can make this work. Alexis and Sunny catch up at the bar, and neither is in a rush to get home. Sunny says he saw Christina the other day and knows Alexis taking a step back from Christina's situation and says that is a good thing. She admits it is killing her. Sunny tells her not to worry so much, and Christina knows Alex's heart is in the right place. Sunny suggests to just follow the kid's lead in this. They are interrupted when they get calls from both Molly and Christina. At the hospital, Finn calls Violet and tells her that he can't tuck her in tonight as he's working late. Finn knows his trial starts tomorrow, and he can't stop worrying it could be the end of his career. Liz is confident that he will win, and he can't imagine going through this without her. Martin arrives and asks Finn why he needs to see him at this late hour. Finn says they found something that might help his case. Finn fills Martin in that Muldoon saw a doctor in Beecher's Corner months before he came to him. He says this doctor referred him to an oncologist, but they don't know who it is or if he saw him. Liz feels like it's a dead end, but Martin isn't so sure. Martin knows a PI who might be able to find this oncologist, and he also reminds Finn when he's on the stand only to answer the questions asked and offer no additional information. He also warns Finn that Diane will no doubt bring up his former substance abuse, and he needs to present himself as the man they know him to be and he'll win. Martin heads out to contact Sam and find the mystery oncologist. Liz tells Finn that her house is empty tonight, so maybe he'd like to come over. They kiss. Jordan is at home when Brick arrives because she called him. He's curious as to why he's here and what she needs, and he flirts heavily with her. She needs someone tech-savvy, such as himself, and this is an off-the-books operation. Brick asks what the mission is. Jordan explains a contact was supposed to reach out and provide her information, but they seem to have broken off contact, and she wants him to track them down. Brick accepts the job and needs her number to triangulate her contact's last coordinate. She gives him her number and hopes he doesn't abuse it. He leaves and says, "Got you now." At the station, Dante and Chase discuss being dragged into a court to testify. Laura shows up and fills them in on what Heather told her about Esme. Dante notes Spencer was right, and Esme remembers everything. Chase thinks Heather has to be working an angle. Laura feels Heather, in her own crazy way, wants to help save her daughter. Laura says they have to arrest Esme before she does something terrible, but Dante says they can't do that without a warrant. Laura has Robert working on one now, and there must be something they can do. Dante may be able to bring her in and hold her for 24 hours, but Esme hasn't been charged with a crime yet. Laura just wants Esme contained, Chase and Dante they decide to go looking for Esme at the Invader and find Kevin unconscious in Alex's office. He has a pulse, and as Dante calls paramedics, Laura tries to get Kevin to wake up. At Christina's, Christina looks up the baby's astrological sign when TJ shows up. He asks what is going on, and Molly tells him that Christina is pregnant. TJ is thrilled and he and Molly hug. Molly and TJ talk about everything they are looking forward to, and suddenly TJ gets emotional. He says they've been through this before and it didn't work out. Christina tells them not to go down this rabbit hole, to take a breath and to have hope. She says if the worst case scenario happens, they'll handle it together and they can try again when they are ready. TJ tells her that she's a rock star. Later, Alexis and Sunny arrive and Jordan follows. Christina tells them that they have good news, the procedure worked, and she is carrying Molly and TJ's baby. They celebrate, but Molly asks Alexis if she's really happy about this. Alexis says she's always on their side, and she's thrilled for them. Hugs are passed around, and TJ says they aren't telling anyone outside this room yet. Alexis gets a call about an incident at work and has to rush out, but not to let her departure ruin their moment. Sunny celebrates with a toast, and everyone joins in. Later, Sunny tells Christina that he's very proud of her, and anything she needs, she can always come to him. They embrace. Alexis arrives at the invader and is questioned by Chase about Esme. She asks why he's focusing on Esme. He explains Esme is their prime suspect in the attack on Kevin. Suddenly, an officer hands Chase a piece of paper they found. At the hospital, Kevin is stabilized, and a doctor allows Laura to see him before he is sent off for tests. She goes to his bedside and begs Kevin to come back to her. She takes his hand and needs him to tell her that it was Esme who did this so she can bring her to justice. Laura later calls and leaves a message with Spencer to call her back as soon as he gets her message, as it's about Esme. Meanwhile, Chase calls Dante, who is in the hospital, and says they found a letter from Esme's old nanny Maggie, and she's taken a job with a family in Toronto and wants her to visit. Laura exits Kevin's room and asks Dante if there are any leads. He tells her that Esme booked a one-way bus ticket headed to Toronto. She asks who Esme knows there. On the next General Hospital, in court, Liz asks Sam if she found anything out that could help the case. Chase fills Jordan in that if Esme is hiding out, they have the address of where she might be. Spencer and Trina arrive in Paris. Laura tells Anna she's the next most qualified candidate. Brick asks Sunny, does Nina get added to that list? Valentin and Nina meet, and he asks what the plan to get back what's hers is.